Hello, everyone, and welcome. Apologies for cutting off Dharmesh there. He's still wrapping up over there if you want to see him. But we're going to be talking about something even more exciting than AI. Not AI. A little bit of AI, a little bit of not AI. My name is Angela De Franco, and I lead our marketing products here at HubSpot. And just like I said, this talk is not all about AI. Shocking. I know. We're going to be talking about how we on the product team are rethinking, reimagining, and remaking Marketing Hub to be more AI native so you don't have to think about AI all the time. You can think about how marketing has changed. You can think about why you got into this in the first place. What do I mean by that? All right, let me share a fascinating experiment that I recently read about with all of you. Two researchers asked a group of participants of a study to carry equally heavy backpacks up a steep hill. Half were told they were carrying life-saving medical supplies to save someone's life at the summit. The other half were simply told to reach the top. The results were striking. The ones with a life-saving mission pushed through exhaustion and completed the climb, while the control group gave up halfway. In fact, the group with the mission didn't even notice the incline or adverse conditions as much as the controlled group did. This is fascinating. The difference wasn't physical strength or stamina. It was purpose. It was their why. It was a study that concluded there really is something isolating and also very powerful about having purpose. So this got me in a really heady space, and I was thinking a lot for a really long time about, why am I here? Why am I doing this kind of stuff? What's my personal why? And what I realized is it went all the way back to, the small businesses that I'd always been around, and why I majored in marketing and information systems in college. I initially wanted to go into psychology, but then I had to pay off my student loans, so I transferred into the business school and majored in marketing instead. So, question for you, it's like we're going back to college. Who here similarly studied liberal artsy-like things in college or universities, like anthropology, writing, art history, journalism? Yes, a lot of you. That's what I thought. And how much of that are you using today in your day-to-day business lives? Maybe a little bit. My hope is for you that by the end of this week, you can actually go back to using some of that. Get back to what drives us on a deeper level. Today, marketers all over the place are facing their own steep climb, but they have lost their own why along the way. As you heard from Yamini and Karen this morning, AI is changing everything we knew about reaching customers. Whether you like it or not, it's happening. You're experiencing this. This is real. It's not just that the funnel isn't flowing. We talked about this morning. It's mostly because that the user behaviors of what they expect have also shifted. By the way, this funnel diagram that we saw this morning, where it's going from an inverted triangle to this hourglass shape, it's not theoretical. It is what we're seeing in our own data. 5 years ago, even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, this was a fairly consistent inverted triangle, where traffic to your site was relatively easy if you knew to do. Conversions through were hard, and then you nurtured those leads through to the bottom of the funnel and turned them into close-won deals. And then something started shifting a few years ago, where awareness started getting cheaper if you knew where to look because of the diversification of channel and because of the tools that you were able to segment on those channels. So you actually could reach the right people. But then what happened was the middle got really narrow. And we saw this in our data, where across our customers that there's a sharp drop-off. And that is because of the changing buyer behavior, because of the SEO shifts, and it started to turn to this mysterious middle where you can't really see what was going on. And then finally, once those buyers drop out at the bottom of their own mysterious journey, they're ready to buy. We've been hearing about this a lot, and so conversions actually increase. The bottom of the funnel conversions we saw were increasing. What's even more fascinating is this iconography, this graphic, it kind of expands the bottom of the conversion. That also is representative of the way that revenue has changed. the shape of revenue is different than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago when inbound marketing was started, because you're starting to get a lot more money from your existing install base. So customer marketing, product marketing, lifecycle marketing, that type of marketing is getting really, really important, not just top of the funnel content. So for all these reasons, the 6 months campaign doesn't work anymore. The way that you used to set up a goal and then walk through that, that goal outcome and then move that campaign through and then end that campaign, it cannot keep up with the way that buyer behavior has changed. And this is the truth behind marketing today. There is no new channel. There is no guaranteed channel returns. There is no new playbook and one size to fit all. Marketing, the way that marketing is going to be won and the way that marketers are winning is by testing, iterating, and pivoting faster than the competition. You're using all of the tools at your disposal to build a playbook built for your company at that point in time. And then, once you have that playbook, once you're ready to deploy it, once you feel really good about this, the game changes yet again, and you realize that all the great content in the world actually isn't even working anymore. So, like Yamini mentioned this morning, we're seeing that these human-led channels, these people-driven channels, are actually the thing that is working for us and for our customers as well. Content volume has increased, and I actually think AI has made this even worse. It's made it really, really easy to put out bad content. And sometimes we could look at ourselves in the mirror and say, like, whose fault is that? But we've made it really easy for you to put out a lot of content. And in reality, less content that resonates better with your target buyers is better. Authenticity is the new currency here. And those that are doing community building and building genuine relationships have become the true differentiators and the only way to stand out in this era. Okay, so another question. I am genuinely curious about how this one is going to go. Who here has never been more anxious to be a marketer? Who has never felt more afraid in this time? A little bit more stressed? Okay, a few. Thank you, brave souls, for raising your hand. What about excited? Who here has never been more excited to be a marketer? Ooh, okay, love that. And finally, a little bit of both. Who here is feeling both anxious and also excited? Okay, the rest of you. Those that didn't raise your hand, I'm going to put you into bucket 3. I feel the exact same way. I'm a boomerang. I recently returned to HubSpot a few months ago. And the reason why is because I truly think this is one of the most fascinating shifts our industry has ever seen. These challenges are also the opportunities, and they're all demanding a new approach. There has never been so much opportunity for marketers, and at the same time, you look at this a different way, and there's never been more challenges. And this is where loop marketing comes in. Yamini introduced this morning, and she talked a lot about, where we fit in, how we found our path to loop marketing, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But I also wanted to point out that, this is really a guide. This is meant to serve you as a guide for how to do marketing in an AI-driven world. Just to break it down for you, the way I think about the loop is that this is the life cycle of an idea in the AI era. It's how you take any play, any campaign, any asset, any strategy, and run it through the loop, leveraging data, taste, and personalization and context to get you to that playbook of one. The way it works is you start by identifying a key problem that you are deploying marketing for. Something, it could be at the top of the funnel, it could be a bottom of the funnel problem, it could be a bottom of the flywheel problem, whatever you want to use. It's a problem that you're deploying marketing for. And then you run that through the loop, and then out comes a solution that will actually work for you and get better over time. As a quick recap, here's the stages of the loop. You first start by expressing who you are through your tone, taste, and voice. This is the unique part that makes you truly you, the human part. This is the purpose part. And then you make the story personal. You tailor this message, this content, this solution to your audience, and then you amplify it across trusted channels. And then finally, the last step is evolution. You evolve this idea, this solution, in real time using real feedback and data. Okay, so now it's just us out here, all thousands of us. I know what you're thinking. this sounds great in theory, or you're thinking like, I still don't really get it, I don't know what the loop is, just move on. Either way, you're thinking, how do I take this to my team tomorrow? Over the last few months, I've had a lot of conversations with really great marketing leaders. And the questions on everyone's mind, they're ranging. They're ranging from the really high-level, heady stuff like this, like what is the point of marketing measurement? What's the future of marketing? But then they also get really tactical. How do I get exposed in ChatGPT and bring traffic from there? How do we deliver those one-to-one experiences that we also know are working for us? And how do we leverage AI teams within our marketing? We've been building tools to help you lean into the marketing in this AI era. But we also built the framework for you to be so much more than those tools. So to put all this together, both the tools and also the playbook, I'm going to show you exactly how one marketing director went from an overwhelmed operator to a confident storyteller using both loop marketing and also the new tools we're launching today. Meet Emma. As a side note, Emma is a real person. She's a real customer that I talked to, and I was originally going to call her Shmemma, but then I realized you don't know who Emma is, and I'm abstracting the details away, so we'll just call her Emma. Okay, great. Emma is all of us right now. Emma leads marketing for a manufacturing project management software company. 6 months ago, her world turned upside down, not dissimilar from many of you. She was doing everything right. She was, following the playbook, following best practices, using her tools religiously, working long weeks. But despite all that, she found that her website traffic was decreasing, her content wasn't producing, conversions were down, and her team was pretty frustrated and overwhelmed and kind of tired of it all. On top of all that, though, she was using AI. She was listening to people saying, use AI to do, it's going to save your life. And it still wasn't working because the game had changed, but nobody told her the new rules. So she decided to take a new strategy. She took a step back. She had a lot of conversations with peers. She had a conversation with me. And, her strategy was like, listen, I'm just going to try to do 3 things. Try to figure out how to earn my way into LLMs. Activate on new channels. It's difficult and scary and hard, but we're going to do it. And then finally, we really just need to figure out what makes us special and craft personal outreach. So the first thing that happened when she took a step back and started realizing, okay, how do I do all this, was that she realized her content sounded exactly like everybody else's. Everyone else in her manufacturing software company industry sounded generic, forgettable, and soulless. And that was the honest truth. As Yamini said this morning, AI can generate content in seconds, but without your unique voice, it all sounds the same. Emma realized that she needed to discover what made her company distinctly different, the why behind that, why they were different. Without all that, it would continue to sound the same. Let me show you how she did this. She started with the HubSpot brand identity tool. This tool pulls insights from everywhere: customer calls, existing content, data enrichment. Then it automatically builds brand guidelines that are truly grounded in your business, giving AI the context it needs to make your content sound like you. For Emma, the insights were pretty eye-opening. All this time, she had been promoting her reporting features in her software suite, but her brand identity found actually, based off of real data, that her customers cared most about production visibility, plant floor transparency, and visibility into production deadlines and alignment across teams. Her product delivered on that. She just wasn't associating herself with that. She just wasn't another software company. She was the go-to experts for teams struggling to keep everyone aligned on the production floor. So now that she had her unique brand voice established, she faced the next big question: how do I get discovered? We heard from Yamini this morning, 60% of searches end with 0 clicks. You know all this, you've been hearing this, you've been living it and experienced it. And so they knew they needed to get recommended by AI engines, but how? She also could start to track this for the first time because we put the AI referral source in HubSpot, so all of you can as well. This helped her to analyze which of the content was getting recommended. She used the HubSpot AEO strategy tool, which analyzes her content and gives recommendations on how to optimize it specifically for AI engines. Now, she can optimize her campaign content for specific questions prospects ask AI. Questions like, what's the best tool for coordinating production schedules across multiple shifts with tight deadlines? Long questions that are very natural language, things that people might actually enter into a ChatGPT or Claude. And from that experience, she realized how powerful that the right data could make her overall strategy. Her CRM held valuable data. She knew that. She'd been doing segmentation and things like that for years. But combining it with other insights could unlock truly personalized experiences, making it clean, making it usable, making it better. That was her next step. Emma used Data Hub to connect all her data sources: CRM data, sales data, spreadsheet data, product usage data, third-party integrations, all in a matter of minutes without needing a developer. So here we see Emma's connecting a spreadsheet from a recent event, and she is importing that and no longer seeing just John Smith, operations manager. She's seeing John Smith from a 200-person manufacturing plant, attended the operations summit, and was super interested in production visibility solutions, yet hasn't responded to any follow-up emails. This unified data means Emma can finally send John something deeply personal about production visibility instead of another email about something that he doesn't really care about. And she can do this for everyone else too. Make her content personal across every channel: email, social, landing pages, all with a little help from Breeze. Let me show you how she does that. So first, after she has all her data, she decides who to target. Her old approach wasn't quite needle in a haystack. She was sophisticated with list filters and logic, but she still was on her own in terms of trying to discover who those best segments were. So she would send it to those people, hope for the best, maybe get 10% open rates if she was lucky. But now, with the new segments tool, Breeze can automatically find high-intent audiences for Emma. With AI cohorts, she learns production supervisors at mid-sized manufacturers were highly engaged with the coordination schedules. And she was able to ask Breeze to find me more prospects like this. So Breeze gets to work, finding, analyzing, and boom, you've got 3 new suggestions of segments that she didn't even know existed based off of real journeys. Here's a real game changer though. She can also start to target anonymous web visitors based off of 2 levels. First, do they fit? Are they the right company? Are they the right size? Are they the right fit for a business? And then secondly, intent. Are they browsing pricing pages, downloading the right content, looking at solution pages? Breeze is capturing all of this automatically for her. So she can personalize the messaging through all of those channels for contacts that haven't even converted yet. Pretty cool. Now with her segments ready, both anonymous, personalized, she's got everybody ready. She knows who she's targeting. She's turned to her team's biggest bottleneck: campaign planning. Her team, like many of us, were using a bunch of different tools to build out a single campaign. Design tools, GPTs, content creation, you know the drill. Weeks of coordination between tools and only jumping into HubSpot when it was time to launch. Marketing Studio changed this in 2 key ways. First, by letting AI lead the way on creating campaign assets. It recommended content drafts and even created the content for her, in addition to the channel mix. Second, Marketing Studio gave Emma's team space to collaborate through the entire campaign process in one screen, something they'd honestly never had before. In Marketing Studio's Infinite Canvas, she can add some context, a brief, a timeline, a company logo, and then she prompts Marketing Studio to build this, and she's off to the races. AI doesn't just suggest tactics, it is generating the actual content, giving her a really great head start. Her content creator, social media manager, and everybody else is collaborating using real-time tools, sticky notes, comments, and task assignments. And together, they're co-creating the entire campaign strategy with AI generating and refining every single step. The result of all this is faster campaigns, fewer tools, and more time for her to take a step back and look at the story that she's telling. See if it actually makes sense. See if all the tools actually click together once they get into HubSpot. So now we're going to put that campaign into action and see what happens next. This campaign featured a deep dive webinar series, which was mostly a deep dive video series. Before, what she would do is reuse that webinar video for social with bite-sized clips. This meant hours of manual work, slicing and dicing across a bunch of different tools, optimizing her video first and then resharing it to social. Now, Emma can upload this video to the library in HubSpot, and AI instantly generates everything she needs: optimized titles, keywords, descriptions, even chapters of the video for her. After this, the coolest part is as she's editing, she can actually see her webinar video is finding social-ready clips for her. All she has to do in the video editor is upload her logo, maybe add a couple captions that she wants or edit them, and share to social. She's good to go. That's pretty remarkable. Saved her a bunch of time, allowed her to see, does this video make sense as a centerpiece of the content? Videos are really, really important as that center of gravity and reusable piece. So now she can take that landing page that Marketing Studio also gave her a head start on and start to personalize it for each of the segments that she found from the segmentation tool. Here's how simple it is. So she's taking an existing landing page and she's picking a web visitor segment, and she's saying, find me from this segment people that found my website or came here from tools like AI referral like ChatGPT or Claude. And immediately Breeze will get to work, and our personalization tool generates a custom version from the segment in minutes. Emma doesn't know all the segments she wants to start to target, so the cool part about this new feature functionality is she can change the segments that she does know, but she can also get suggestions from the new personalization agent. And some of these suggestions, these are not just, change for better clicks. It's very, very specific, including the expected impact. So, things like start to change the generic headline to reference those coordination challenges that your subscribers have been reading about. This goes way beyond the smart content that Emma typically uses and has kind of been avoiding because it's not that effective. This actually starts to get her much more personalized segments without being creepy, like smart content can sometimes be. This is really, really helpful to deliver that personalized journey. To continue that theme of personalization, the final step was transforming the email that Marketing Studio put together for her into a message that felt like Emma wrote it personally for each manufacturing team reading it. AI-powered email creates one-to-one individualized content for every single recipient. So Emma can tell Breeze, drop right into the dynamic text and add something that says, hey, I want to reference the contact's product based off of their recent sales demo. So again, this is more than just personalization tokens. It's looking into that data from her CRM and trying to make sure that they're addressing production coordination challenges that is a little bit more nuanced than something that's just a straight token. She can start to test out to see how this email will look as if she wrote each individual email, get a sense and a gut check if this makes sense, feels right, make sure she trusts that, and then she's on to sending. New features in our email tool include send time optimization and also asking HubSpot to maximize open rate or prioritize open rate. So you can leave it to the tool to figure out when the best time to send it is and how big that work is. So this is a great way to actually start pulling this all together and getting that personalized journey. And now that her campaign assets are live, something pretty cool is happening. She can actually see what was working and what wasn't without jumping between a dozen different tools. Right back in Marketing Studio, she's able to see everything. She's able to see which part of her campaign is performing, and she can see this on the campaign level. In the Analyze tab, she can compare results across one campaign, a bunch of campaigns, or her entire portfolio, all in one place. And if she needs to go into even more detail, she can use the new reporting tool called Pathfinder that uses AI to analyze customer journey data to spot exactly the best path for conversion. So her team can finally understand which touch points are actually driving revenue without having to know each of the individual events and stages that are coming through. This is spotting patterns that would have taken her teams weeks to find manually if they could find them at all. This is pretty huge for evolving her campaign and evolving her brand resonance. You may not have realized it, but Emma just took you through the entire Loop marketing framework. In Express, she discovered what made her manufacturing expertise unique using the brand identity tool. Then she used Marketing Studio to build a brand resonance campaign and visualize it in a way that actually reflected that voice from day one. Data Hub then turned scattered customer intelligence into powerful, ready-made segments. And the result was this personalized experience that made prospects saying, oh my God, did she write this email just for me? Did she know exactly what we were going through? And then she was ready to amplify that content and those campaigns across those channels. AEO strategy helped position her content to earn her way into LLMs by optimizing for the actual questions prospects ask, and video marketing tools transformed that single piece of content into an omni-channel presence that amplified her core marketing message. Finally, in evolution, AI predicted who would actually engage before she even hit send, and Pathfinder revealed the magic combination. Manufacturing prospects who matched her content and got personalized follow-ups were 5 times more likely to convert. The best part is that Marketing Studio, that core center of gravity, showed her all of this so she could make her campaign smarter than the last and rerun it again. The result was email open rates went up from 8 to 28%, prospects converted 5 times faster with personalized touchpoints, and, most importantly, her campaign built a community of engaged prospects who saw her and her company as the trusted voice for team alignment, not just another software vendor. And most importantly, yes, this is the cheesy part, Emma got back to what she loves. She was able to really recognize that she had built a story that resonated with people. She was going back to building authentic connections with her audience and using data-driven insights to create campaigns that actually drive business results. AI is pushing us to rediscover our why, to evolve from knobs and dials operators and focused on metrics and mechanics back into what we were always meant to be, tastemakers, storytellers, and architects of genuine human connection. The marketers that will thrive in this AI era aren't those with the most sophisticated tech stack. They're the ones with the clearest sense of why they exist, why their company exists, what makes them different, and the creative courage to express it in ways that genuinely matter to people. One more question. Who here is finding in-person events like this one, or small group dinners, trade shows, that kind of stuff? In-person events are bigger than ever. They are successful. They are helpful. Okay, a lot of you. What about short-form video? Had anyone seen? Okay, so some short-form video, if you're seeing success with that, either TikTok, yeah. And then finally, maybe for the enterprise marketers, anybody experimenting with BGM, buyer group marketing? No, that's it's like, okay, yeah. It's an evolution of ABM. Anyway, my point is, over the next year, we're going to continue to roll out a lot of new products and a lot of new ways to support you and the unique way that your marketing team finds success. That is the power of Loop, and that's the unique value proposition of doing this all on HubSpot. We are just at the beginning of this journey with you. It's new for you, it's new for us, and we're learning and leading with you. So I think back to the experiment and the power of purpose and thinking about the participants that reached the summit. They weren't stronger. They were doing and driven by something bigger than themselves. Today you have all the tools to carry that same sense of purpose into every campaign, every piece of content, every channel, every customer interaction. I don't think AI has made marketing harder. I do think it's made the why behind your marketing more important than ever. Our team has found our why. We have never been more excited and fired up to build the future of marketing with you. Together, we're going to go find our summit. All right, thank you so much, everyone.